Welcome to It's a Small World, a show where we explore beliefs, psychology, culture, and the ideas that quietly shape how we think, feel, and live, usually the ones that we don't realise we've absorbed. We're your hosts. My name's Tanya.
And I'm Mitch.
Today's episode then isn't to say what's right or wrong, because we're discussing Valentine's Day. And for something that's meant to be about love, it manages to stir up a lot of pressure. So Valentine's Day then didn't always start out as roses and restaurant bookings. It's thought to come from a mix of Roman fertility festivals, early Christian martyr stories, rituals about pairing, survival and symbolism, not romance as we know it. Now, I know you found out a little bit more about that, didn't you?
Oh, I've realised that we've all come from a mad background. I mean, and I know people buy thongs for Valentine's and all the rest of it, but to find out where it all comes from, I think, like you say, it goes back to ye olde day, and obviously, good old Saint Valentine. He was a priest who used to marry the Roman soldiers on the QT. He got executed for that because Claudius II wasn't too happy about that. He thought men who weren't married were better soldiers. And then it moves on to as Saxons, is it Lupercalia, is it called?
Right.
And it is some random things you find out. And it is a fertility celebration which took place between the 13th and the 15th of February. And men used to purify women by beating them with strips of goat's hide to encourage fertility. And they also used to throw, I'm going to say, like goat's blood over them as well, actually. All a bit random. I have to say, a bit of foreplay wouldn't appeal to me personally. And then Saint Valentine isn't just about love. He's the patron saint of, wait for it, beekeepers, epilepsy, the plague and travellers. What's all that about them?
That is not the little cherub with a bow and arrow that...
No. I was patron saint of Hallmark or something. You go, oh yeah, fair enough then. But no, there we are. Yes, crazy.
Okay, so the version then, obviously, that we know today really took shape much later, as you say, driven by cards, gifts and marketing. So what we're responding to then isn't ancient tradition, it's more of a modern story. And yet, despite knowing all that, it can still feel sort of oddly emotional, I think, or... Do you know what I mean?
Emotional, yes, both good and bad, I would say. I would say it's a psychological storm.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really got any great memories of Valentine's Day. I can't sort of look back and think, oh, this was really romantic, blah, blah, blah. I just remember the funny stuff.
Really? Oh, come on. I'm going to share some of these stories now. You can't just leave it hanging there.
There was one where I could have sworn he said he liked fruit and nut chocolate. So I bought him a bar of fruit and nut, and it turned out he had a peanut allergy.
Oh, brilliant.
And then he sent me a card and used one of those. Do you remember those little plastic stencils you used to get on the envelope? He'd used one of those, and inside it said question mark. But I knew it was from him, and he said that's how it should be. That didn't last long. And another one was at college, and we used to do the college magazine, and there was a young teacher that we all quite fancied. I know that's wrong, but bear in mind we were like 18, and he was probably only just left university in his first teaching job. And anyway, he mentioned some dalliance with a Spanish woman. So we filled all of like the messages in the Valentine's edition of the college magazine of Spanish phrases dedicated to this teacher. So yes, another teacher did see it before it went to print and took them all out, sadly. But
oh, well, that could have been...
Some work went into that, because bearing in mind, these are the days where you couldn't just Google it.
No. Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine the outfall of that? However, many years did go and put the Valentine's card on the wrong car.
Ooh. And that could be actually a good story, you know.
Yeah.
It's like a Christmas story. You put it on the wrong car but ended up with them in any way, you know.
No, I didn't actually. No, I just put on the wrong car.
Oh. Did the right person get it eventually?
No, we just let's just skip that part of my life completely.
So, I mean, I'm not anti-Valentine's as such.
Okay.
I'll say that this sort of episode is just understanding why it messes with us, I think, because it isn't about relationships. It's kind of about painting the idea of the perfect relationship, isn't it?
It
And that's
is.
where the problem is.
Yes.
It's the
Yeah.
highlight reel on Instagram of the rose petals and the candles.
Yeah.
And we kind of think to ourselves, well, maybe what I've got isn't how it should be because it doesn't look like the highlight reel
Look
on
like that,
there.
exactly. You know, as if you've been measured or compared against
Yeah,
everyone else
yeah,
on that one day. And it's usually a random Tuesday, midweek occurrence, isn't it?
yeah.
Valentine's Day.
But the
And
restaurants will still charge more.
and you think, what? Wow. It is just stressful because, like you say, you look on this social media, it's absolutely everywhere. You go to the
Mm,
supermarket, weekly shop, it's all over the place. And it's like, yeah, this is what good love looks like. You're thinking, oh, not too sure about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
no cars with anyone flogging a woman with a goat skin, is there?
No, there isn't.
There's not enough
Maybe
of
that's where
those.
it's all gone wrong. But there's no handbook, is there? There's no guidelines. It is just, oh, the commercial world goes bosh, and got to play the game somehow without the rules.
Yeah. So the idea that love is tidy, affirming, and measured when real life doesn't actually match that story, as I say, people start to question it, don't they? They question themselves and
Yeah.
their relationship. And that I think is where
Ex-
it's probably wrong. As I say, people are saying, why isn't my life like that? Why doesn't my relationship look like that? And am I not good enough? I guess is another one that people
Mm,
are going to be.
yes. Because
Yeah.
one of the aspects I was considering is it, do you give someone a card to reassure them that, you still like them? Is that what it's all about?
Um.
Is it reassurance, or as opposed to a public demonstration of, oh,
Yeah.
I love you, and
It's expectation, isn't it? I think.
yeah,
Um.
yeah,
I think it turns love. It's more of a public performance than a personal
hmm,
one, isn't it?
yeah,
When the real connection is obviously private.
yeah. We've both been doing a bit of research into this prior, and I actually asked our fella, and I said, "Come on, lad, come on, spill the beans. Let's talk about Valentine's." And he says, "Well, I don't do it because for him, Valentine's was just about it's the secret bit, before the relationship blooms."
Yeah.
And so that's what he thinks Valentine's is. When you say about going out for meals and all the rest of it, that's oblivious to him. That's a completely different language. He thinks Valentine's is just the chase.
Yeah. The exciting bit.
Yeah, which kind of explains out why after 26 years I've never actually had a Valentine's Day off it.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. I bet a lot of men are like that, though, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a different language. Men are really good at doing stuff, solving problems and building and making things, and yet when it comes to talking about emotions, it's the whole men are from Mars and women from Venus thing, isn't it? They're
Yeah.
completely different language.
Yeah. So again,
Yeah.
it kind of goes back to that highlight reel, doesn't it? Where people are painting that perfect
Yes.
lifestyle, and that's we're comparing ourselves to that, but we don't see what happens when the camera's not on. They could be
Mm.
arguing, could be crying themselves to sleep at night, and
Yeah.
all we see is the good bits, the best bits.
But then that's social media all over, isn't it? How many people always like pouting on going on these amazing holidays, and they're probably got huge bank debts for going on these holidays, and they've got no friends really.
Yeah, it's
Well,
all
that's my
true,
theory
isn't
anyway.
it? So I think it can be a bit of a no-win situation in a relationship, can't it? Unless you're perfect all the time, and let's face
Yeah.
it,
And I
none of us
suppose
are.
in many ways, it's something like if I've been with my partner for quite a long time, it's kind of like we've been together for many, many years. I shouldn't have to tell you what I want, but I have every right to be pissed off if I don't get it. And I
Yeah,
think
they
with
should know.
Valentine's, it's that you should know. You should know.
Uh, my thinking is, if you're a shit for 364 days of the year, and then
Yeah,
you get a card and flowers
yeah,
the one other day, that doesn't make it all
no,
right.
no,
That
no.
doesn't make you the perfect Valentine. They
Yeah.
should be like it all year.
Absolutely. And do you know what? And I've just sprung into my head this sounds right. I am a huge Shirley Valentine fan. Pardon the pun with the
Okay.
link to the name, but it's a brilliant part of on the in the film when she says, you have all these arguments and goes, "I love you," and that makes everything all right as far as they're concerned. And I'm like, that's very, very
Oh
pertinent.
no,
Yeah,
no.
worth watching again. That one is that'll be on Netflix tonight.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with national days as such.
No, no,
It's
no.
the
I think
expectation. I mean, Pancake Day, we have a few pancakes, job done. But Valentine's Day comes with more implied meaning and pressure, doesn't it? And that's the difference. And I was listening to a podcast, and it was actually Mel Robbins. I mentioned
Oh,
it.
you like Mel Robbins, don't you?
She seems to pop up every. It must be the algorithm. And she was actually interviewing Jay Shetty, and they were saying in stuff like this, it's like people are actually keeping score, and they give and expect the same in return. So it's like full circle. And when it's like that, it becomes transactional. And the thing is, everybody feels and shows love differently. We don't all fit into a nice little card from Clinton's,
Absolutely, yeah.
And don't you, I mean, I find this at Christmas as well. Your birthdays, Mother's Day, you're looking at the cards and you're just thinking, everybody's getting the same card. You know what I mean? We're all sending the same thing. So if somebody was to do something more personal, like write me a letter, something like that, or make a card, that to me shows that some thought's gone into it. But would they feel the same way?
You'd like to think so. Well, there's this whole expressing yourself. So, I don't like to say my other half. I'm not moaning about him, but he's good for stories about how being crap in relationships he is. And quite a few years ago, many years ago, he bought me some flowers, and they were lovely. And I've never seen blue tulips before, ever. That's because they were plastic.
Okay.
Oh, that went down like a lead balloon with me, that did. But I still have them. So he says, I don't need to buy you any more tulips ever. And so, yeah, so it's grand gestures, isn't it?
It is.
Have you got contact lenses in? Because your eyes look really, really, really dark. Like
I have got contact lenses in, but
they're really dark.
Ooh,
yeah.
Somebody taken my soul.
That's what it looks like.
But you've kept them.
Oh, I've still kept them, yes. Well, actually, I shoved them under the sink some time ago. That's where I've still got them. But anyway, it's a moral win for him, though. But do men do they find it stressful? Is it just much effort? I mean, you think one day, come on, guys, you've got a whole year to plan this. Not much of an effort, just, pop to the supermarket, happy with that, but some it's just too much. And to the point where it could be fear of failure, of getting it wrong. Therefore, don't bother.
Yeah. I was going to say, going back to what I was saying about what they were talking about in this podcast, they were like, the question you should ask is, did I show up for you? Or did I show up for you, for me, because I wanted something back? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yes, okay. I get that.
If you do something without expecting something back, that's love. But if you do something but expect something back, then that's called a transaction. So with Valentine's Day, are we expecting sort of too much almost? Are we expecting something back?
I think that's a really interesting way of looking at it. I think it's the expectation of you both are going to do something for each other on that day. But if one of you forgets, I'm going to tell you another story about our Paul. So I've got loads of them lined up on him. And when I was asking him about this, and I said, why don't you send me Valentine's cards anymore? And he says, well, because one, you didn't send me one, and therefore I thought, what's the point? I'm never going to send you another one. And it took it quite personally, and I just ignored it, thought, because I didn't want to be disappointed again, like it has been for every other year. So but yet he stopped for a different reason. He just thought, well, I didn't get one back, so no. Bizarre.
If you're living in the same house and everything,
I know.
Again, are we just buying into the commercialism of it and feeling like we have to do it because we should?
Yeah. Mind you, I also said, it's only one day, babe, and it doesn't really make that much effort. He says, yeah, well, we've always got Christmas Eve, which is kind of like our anniversary. He didn't bother sending me a card for that either, though. So it's about just he's performing consistently.
Right. There's that, isn't there? Maybe you'd get suspicious if he did something different then.
Yeah.
Like, why are you buying me flowers? It's like, you've seen Love Actually?
Yes.
Alan Rickman with the necklace, and she gets the Joni Mitchell CD.
Oh, your heart goes out, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So is Valentine's Day just another loud day to put pressure on society?
I think it is, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Do you think that it should be rebranded or remarketed in some way?
Ooh, good question.
Mm.
Um, I don't think they will. I think
Mm.
it's always going to be there, but I think I agree with what you say about it's in the early days. I think it has a different meaning
Hmm.
to when a relationship has been going for a while.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. It's definitely that early burn thing, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
excitement of the new relationship,
excitement.
or is it the stalking period when you think, oh, I quite like that person, checking them all out, googling them, finding out where they live, sending cards. In the old days before the internet, you had to put a bit of effort in to find out where people lived and put a stamp on it and change your
Mm.
handwriting.
I mean, that's true, isn't it? Because people don't send Christmas cards the same now, do they?
No, no. Well, slight alert on this one. For 20 odd years, I've been living here 26 years, and Yvonne from number 28. I've been writing her kids Valentine's cards all those years. And because I go out and do my paranormal investigation, she gives me a card with a stamp on it. And I
Yeah.
have to go and post it from a different post box in a different county
Oh
whenever I
no.
go out. And that's been going on for years.
How old are they?
32 and 29.
And are they married now or anything?
One is, yeah.
And you still send
Not
Valentine's?
for me. I mean, I
Well,
just
I
post
know,
them.
but
Well, I have to write them in different handwriting, or I've given them to my friends to write, and then I post them.
what
But
does
Yvonne
the partner
organises it.
think?
I think they must know it's the mum by now.
Well, obviously, I mean, there've been
Yeah.
some serious conversations, haven't there?
But that's almost like not stalking, but it could be deemed as stalking.
It I've not heard of that before. Not when they're that age.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's if it's a nice little tradition.
Yeah, I think she was just concerned they hadn't got any boyfriends or girlfriends, so she just was sending him a little something. Yeah, I think it's quite sweet, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
I know at some point I'm gonna have to confess it. When Natalie gets married, I think I'm gonna have to confess that it was me posting them in. The entire street has been in on it for all these years.
Oh.
She's probably go, yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I remember going back to school and it was almost like a popularity thing, wasn't it? You always knew
Was
who
it?
was going to get Valentine's cards when you were at school, didn't you? And who wouldn't? And you'd
Yeah.
feel
Yes.
like, oh, I haven't got one, and
Yeah.
a bit like
Gosh.
being picked in PE.
God, it's getting very melancholy now, isn't it? I'm getting
It is.
flashbacks
It's
from
getting quite
school.
sad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's changed that to that angle, I think. Yeah.
But again, so are we looking at it as a measurement of how much somebody loves you?
I think it's a measurement, and I also think it's a floodlight that you shine on your relationship to see the cracks. Oh,
Oh,
ooh. Yeah, because it's like kind of like reassurance. Here's a card, I love you. Should a Valentine quote, I love you. Therefore, everything, all the world is okay. But then, I mean, I bet there must be loads of people who have absolute bags on with each other on Valentine's Day when it all goes wrong.
yeah.
Yeah,
Too much expectation.
yeah. Mm,
Yeah. And I
mm.
think something else that they said in this podcast, Jay Shetty said, oh, what was it? I don't want you to love me the way I want to be loved because you're then limiting what the other person can offer.
Oh, right, okay. Got it in
So,
their
for an
own
example,
way. Yes.
one person's strengths might be gifts, but the others might be like acts of service, like quality time. And so,
Mhm.
going back to when you were a kid, I think he said that when he was a kid, his parents were always like busy working and things like that. So when they got him a gift, it was to show their love. And that's how he knew that when he came home that day, there was a gift and his parents loved him. Whereas his
Oh.
wife was from a family where they didn't give gifts, they gave time. And
Mhm.
so that was her meaning. And so when she didn't get him anything, he was like, well, where's the gift? What's
Yeah.
happening?
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we've all got different expectations about
Mm.
love and relationships, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in many ways, it kind of like you can look at Christmas time as well, and you put effort into buying a gift for someone at Christmas, and then you don't get whatever back or of an equal, not equal, symbolic gesture, maybe
Yeah,
that kind of thing,
yeah,
and
we
sometimes
touched
that
on
can
this.
cause it.
Was it last week when we were talking about giving and receiving gifts, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah. I can remember once also going back to Paul that it was a Valentine's early days, and he went and bought me a tiny little t-shirt. It was tiny, tiny, really, really tiny, and it was a size 8. I've never been a size 8 in my entire life, and and his response was, "I only had half an hour free parking, so that's all I could find."
Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And there was another year, um, and I thought he was kept saying things like, "Oh, I really love you. We should spend our lives together." And I thought, "Oh, well, he might just propose to me." I'm
yeah.
thinking along those. There was too much of this wording thing going on, and I come home from work thinking, "Oh, okay, this is going to be it. This is
Yeah.
something interesting." And he put down a new kitchen floor,
Well,
and he wondered,
maybe that is his way of showing.
yeah, yeah. And it got to the end of the day, and I went, "Where's my engagement ring?" And he went, "What engagement ring?" I thought you were going to propose to me because of the way you've been. He went, "I wasn't ever going to propose to you." So I said, "Well, if you propose to me in the future, I'm going to shove that ring right up your arse."
And
Anyway, and that was 26 years ago, and we're still
it's been
together.
walking strange ever since.
And we've never, we will never get engaged or married. We've
Oh,
set the boundaries now. But yeah, but there must be lots of people who have conflicts because of the expectations and the pressure.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it, and it like if you're single, you can be made, you can feel unloved, you can feel like I was saying, like you're not enough. You're bombarded with images of perfect couples.
Mm,
If you're divorced, like me,
mm,
um, it can sort of reinforce a sense of failure. Even when a relationship ending was the healthiest thing, you
yes.
can still feel like you've failed or you've
Mhm,
wasted your life.
mhm.
Um, so long-term couples, are they the ones that are doing it right? You know?
Well, I experience talking as an experienced couple, right? Obviously not wed, but tolerating each other.
Yeah.
There was also one year I went out to Ann Summers, got the whole, underwear and all the rest of it, one of them little things to go over the top. And oh, I put long stockings on, killer heel boots, and I looked absolutely the cat's pajamas. I really, really did. And I popped them, and went downstairs thinking, oh, got a bottle of champagne. I'm thinking, hey, he's going to love this. And he just looks up from the TV and goes, "Do we have to?" So I went upstairs and had a strop and banged things around and just swigged all the booze by myself. So there we are. So yeah, so not long-term couples don't always get it right.
No, not commercially, but
Not commercially.
maybe privately. I don't know. Maybe they should be the ones on the cards, Paul
Yeah.
laying a floor.
But it's all symbolic, isn't it? It
It
is.
is,
It is.
it is.
Yeah.
Um,
But but people say, "Oh, we don't do Valentines. We don't do Valentines. You just don't believe in it." And are they the people who have been hurt in the past and therefore don't want to have another experience of being hurt, or is it truly people who just don't give a stuff about it?
oh, could be a bit of both, couldn't it? It's like people that say, "Oh,
Yeah,
I don't do Christmas,"
yeah.
because they've probably
Because they've had some
experienced the Christmas in the past where it's been shit,
awful, absolutely.
rubbish,
And
and they're not there to celebrate.
our yeah, our brains love anniversaries. So this
Yeah.
whole, "Ooh, let's throw the pain and the hurt and all the rest of it back on yourself and relive it and relive it." And there's so many people just that they just don't do Valentine's because, like you say, 'cause the restaurants maybe being hurt,
Yeah.
maybe
I
they just
think we
can't be bothered to do it.
I think
But I
we
think,
the
yeah,
thing is we're emotionally conditioned from a young age to associate love with gestures, milestones,
yeah,
symbols.
mm,
Um, and when a symbolic day arrives, you kind of react before the rational
mhm,
mind has had chance to catch up,
yeah,
don't you? And I think we do live in a validation driven culture now, particularly more so than when, 20 years ago, because we are after those likes on social media,
Yeah.
the public displays of affection. And I think Valentine's Day now plugs into that very well, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Got to show up, be seen, participate in the experience, and share your emotions. Yeah.
And one day is meant to be the
Mm.
verdict of how much our
Oh yeah.
relationship
Oh,
means.
we've all wanted the knight in the shining arm to swoosh you off your feet, and we watch the rom-coms, and you think, oh, wouldn't that be lovely? That's what we want love to
Yeah.
feel like, isn't it?
And I think that's why I have a bit of a love hate relationship with Christmas as well, because I watch far
Yeah.
too many Christmas films where everything's magical and,
Yeah.
you know, and you can see what's going to happen. Everyone, you can see what's going to happen, but you still watch it and you know they're
Uh,
going to end up together. But yeah, but I think for a symbolic day, it can open up old wounds, rejection,
mhm.
abandonment,
Yeah.
feeling unseen.
Mistakes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Flashbacks to things you really should not have done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even if your present situation is completely not that, it
Yeah.
does, I think, drag up all those feelings, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
I remember once when I used to work in an office where they had a big window at the front and you'd see the florist van pulling up and
Yeah.
you'd think, is it me?
Yeah.
No. Is it more important when it's not Valentine's Day, when it's just random?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You're not you're not a sheep, are you? Not following the crowd.
Mm.
So,
But it makes your heart sing and all that excitement, like seeing other
oh
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever seen anyone propose at all?
Well, no.
Haven't you?
Well, I saw somebody propose just after Christmas
Oh,
in a sizzling grill.
oh, really? In a restaurant?
Yeah, it was a pub, isn't it? Me and my friend looked at each other and we were like, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
No.
if you're going to propose, don't do it in a sizzling grill." You know what I mean? But
Oh, wow.
maybe, maybe I'm wrong there. Probably am, but maybe it meant something to them.
Yeah. Did she say yes?
She did, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It got her
Yeah.
in, and my mate said, "Oh, that's not a real one. That's a copy." To a
I was
face, obviously, just to me. Yeah.
I was working in a country park, and I was walking there. It's during the summertime, and I was walking just long walk back to the actual car park. Lots and lots of people were there, and there was a couple near the water. What he was down on his knee, and everyone on the carriageway just stopped and watched and held their breath. And he got down on one knee, and he's doing the whole gesture thing, and she stands up, and the entire row went and cheered, and it was lovely. And then they turned around and realised there's like 200 people, standing on the roadway watching them. It's lovely, really.
It's,
Yeah.
I think if you're sure they're going to say yes, it would be quite
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to feel pressured into saying yes, just
Yeah.
because there was an audience. But if you're like pretty sure that that's what you both want, then
Oh, how awful. Can you imagine it? If someone proposed to you on Valentine's Day, but your mindset is, do you know what? I don't really fancy you. I'm going to dump you, but I feel as if I can't do it today. I'll wait until
yeah.
tomorrow. And then they propose to you.
Oh,
Gosh, that'd be awful, wouldn't it?
that would be horrible, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
We're all going, thank goodness that wasn't me now.
Yeah.
Wow. Horror stories, eh?
Just looking at time, it's gone quick again, hasn't it?
Gosh.
So to sum up then, I think it changes as you get older, doesn't it? Deep down, we
Yeah.
want to be loved. It's just natural. But I think as you get older, it's deeper, it's less superficial, and it's more about, I think, the other person knowing you as a person,
Mm-hmm.
rather than just picking up that pink card from
Yeah.
the shop or the garage.
Yeah. The spontaneous pickup from the corner shop. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
More effort, more quality.
They've taken the time to find out about you. I think.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
what it. I think is better.
Yeah.
So to reinforce then, feelings aren't failures, reflection isn't weakness. And if this episode about Valentine's Day has stirred something in you, it doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. And that instinct to question yourself, that's what we're going to be talking about in the next episode. Because it is
curious, eh? I'm looking forward to that one.
imposter syndrome. So we'd love to know how Valentine's Day makes you feel. Do drop a comment, and we'd love you to subscribe to this podcast. But then we will talk to you next week.
Okay, speak to you soon then. Bye-bye.
And remember, sometimes the world is smaller and stranger than we think.
Yay.